Hari Hari. This is the story of Sri Ramacandra, the seventh of the Dasavatars, the 10 avatars of Vishnu. So now Lord Ramacandra, Lakshman, Sita, and Hanuman have now returned to Ayodhya. Lord Ramacandra is now crowned the king of Ayodhya, and he begins to rule. Lord Ram's rule is exceptional. In fact, this period of time is referred to as Rama Rajyam, the rule of Ram, because all of the citizens, all of the subjects of the kingdom were perfectly satisfied, happy, healthy, and taken care of. Even the seasons, spring, summer, winter, and so on, were harmonious in that they were very, very conducive to the growing of fruits, vegetables, herbs, medicines. So there was no hunger in the kingdom of Ayodhya. There was no sickness in the kingdom of Ayodhya. There were no pandemics in this kingdom of Ayodhya. Everyone had enough to eat. Everyone held shelter. This was the rule of Ram. One day, Lord Ramacandra called 6 spies, and he told them, he said, "My dear spies, I would like you to go out into the kingdom, all corners of the kingdom, and talk to the people. How are they doing? What are they needing? What are they lacking? And report back to me. However, do not let them know that you are working for me. Do not let them know that you work for the king. Go in disguise and ask these questions. Listen to how the citizens are talking." So the 6 spies went and did so. In the evening, 5 of the spies came back, and they reported to Lord Ram. "Yes, my dear Lord Ram, we went throughout the kingdom, and wherever we went, everyone was satisfied. They had everything that they needed. They were happily engaged in their varna and their ashram. Everyone was satisfied. But they waited because the 6th spy had not yet returned. Much later, when the spy did return, the last of the 6 spies, when he returned, he was a little depressed and downcast when he walked into the court. Everyone is there. Sumantra, who was the charioteer of Dasavatar many years before. Dasavatar died when Lord Ram, Lakshman, and Sita went into the forest, Dandakaranya, for 14 years. Sumantra was his charioteer and advisor. Now Sumantra is the advisor to Lord Ramacandra, kind of like the chief minister of Lord Ramacandra. Sumantra goes to the spy and he says, "What did you see? What did you hear?" The spy, the 6th spy, lied. He had something unpleasant. He had heard something unpleasant about Lord Ram. He did not want to share it because what he heard, he felt was offensive, it was unnecessary, and it was spoken by a person who was completely controlled by anger. So the spy thought, this is not the time and place to recite or to retell what I heard. We're in the court. It's in public. Many people are here. This is not the time and place to repeat this. So he lied to Sumantra, fully accepting the responsibility of his lying, thinking that afterwards, in private, I will tell Sumantra what I'd heard. But right now, I will lie, and I will accept the consequences of lying later on, in private with Sumantra. So he told Sumantra a lie. He said, "Where I went, everyone is overjoyed with the rule of Lord Ram." Sumantra was not entirely convinced. He said, "Are you sure that's what you heard?" Are you leaving out anything? The spy lied again for a second time. He says, no, everywhere I went, the people of Ayodhya are entirely satisfied with the rule of Ram. Sumantra was still not entirely convinced, so he asked for a third time. The third time he asked, the spy hesitated. And then he lied a third time. But that hesitation, Ram saw, noticed that the spy hesitated the third time. He got up off the throne, he walked to the spy where Sumantra and the spy were talking. In the middle of the court, everyone is watching. Ramacandra said, you're holding back. What did you hear? Tell me everything you heard. The spy lied to Sumantra 3 times, but he was not going to lie to Lord Ramacandra. So he said, my dear Lord, when I was walking through a particular area of the city, there was a commotion and there was some loud shouting. I went to investigate to see what it was. And it happened to be that in the house of a washerman, there was a disagreement, a conflict between this husband and wife. And the husband was saying to his wife, get out of my house. I don't want you here. I am not like Lord Ramacandra, who will accept Sita back after she's been in Lanka with Ravan for so long. I am not like Lord Ramacandra. I will not accept you back. Get out of my house. And this argument was going back and forth, heated argument. When Ramacandra heard this, he was distressed. But what is very important is that he was not distressed because someone was saying bad things about him and Sita. That is not why Lord Ramacandra was distressed and upset. The reason why Lord Ramacandra was upset was because Lord Ramacandra came to show what it means to be an ideal leader, an ideal ruler, an ideal king. The responsibility of the leader is to protect the citizens, to make sure that all the people under their responsibility are able to live according to their varna and ashrama. This is the duty of a kshatriya. This is the duty of a leader in this position. Ramacandra was upset because he was worried about this misunderstanding of what had happened between Ravan and Ram and Sita. He was thinking that this could become a problem in the kingdom if husbands or families are torn apart, if there's divorce. Families are torn apart because of this misunderstanding of the story of Ravan and so on. So Ram was distressed about the Grihastha ashram. In the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna had the very same concern. He said, my dear Krishna, if the leaders are not here, then the family becomes destroyed. The leaders are to protect the families. This was Lord Ramachandra's concern. He did not want divorce to be rampant in Ayodhya, broken families, unscrupulous men throwing out their wives and causing Varna Shankara. This is talked about in the Bhagavad Gita. Sita Devi was also there, and she heard this. She got off the throne. She walked to where they were standing. Everyone was watching, wanting to hear what was going to happen next. Sita is a Kshatriya princess, Kshatriya queen. Her duty is no different than Ram's, to protect the kingdom, to protect the citizens, to ensure they're able to properly function according to Varna and Ashrama. So she said to Lord Ram, it is our duty to rule, to protect. I will leave, because if I do not leave, then this can cause further problems. Right now we see it only in one family. It can grow. It can become a problem. So Sita said, I will leave. Ram immediately began to object. But then Sita told Ram a story, whispered a story into Ram's ear. After whispering the story into Ram's ear, she left. She walked out of the court. And Ram did not stop her. He did not protest. After hearing what she told him, he did not protest. He was distraught. He was in anguish to see his wife go, but he did not stop her. Many years later, Lord Ramacandra was performing a sacrifice for the well-being of the kingdom, an enormous occasion. He invited many sages and saints from around the lands, many kings. The entire city of Ayodhya was decorated in honor or in celebration of this particular yajna. At the end of the yajna, when everyone was enjoying some entertainment, many artisans, artists, actors, musicians came and they were performing the entertainment session of this event in the evening. One sage came in and he came with two twin boys. These twin boys began to retell the story of Ramayana, the story of Dasavatar, Kaushalya, Ram, Sita, Lanka, Ravana. They were telling the story in such a wonderful way. Everyone in the entire arena was captivated by these two very handsome young boys, beautiful young boys, excellently telling the story of Ramayana. Even Lord Ram was sitting and listening, completely enraptured by their storytelling. But also Ram felt a deep affection and attraction and attachment instinctively to these two boys. When the boys came up to the part of the story telling about when Sita left Ram, Ram broke down in tears. He got off from the throne. He went to these two boys and he asked, "Where are you from? How did you learn this story? Who are you?" The sage who was with them spoke. He said, "My name is Valmiki. When your wife Sita left, she came to my ashram. She was pregnant. You did not know this, but she was pregnant. She came to my ashram and she gave birth to these two boys, Lava and Kusha. These are your sons." Ram immediately embraced his sons, overjoyed to see his two boys, but he also wanted to see Sita. He went to Valmiki's ashram. There was Sita. She was overjoyed. She had not seen Lord Ram in many, many years. She was overjoyed to see her husband again. When Ram tried to convince her to come back to the kingdom, she said, "No, my dear Lord, my time here on this world is over. I must leave. Sita Devi is Lakshmi." So the earth opened up beneath her, and she descended into the earth to return back to Vaikuntha. Lord Ramacandra was obviously, once again, for the third time in his life, he's lost his wife. He went back home and he began to raise his two sons, Lava and Kusha. The story that Sita told in Ramachandra's ear, those many years before, is very, very important. The story is retold in the Padma Purana. When Sita Devi tells the story to Ram's ear, she says, "My dear Lord," this is what she's whispering, "My dear Lord, when I was a young girl in my father's house, Janaka's kingdom, Mithila, when I was there in the garden, I saw two birds in the bushes, beautiful, beautiful birds, singing and enjoying one another's company. I happened to be able to capture one of the birds. When I captured this bird, I had it in my hand. This bird began to speak to me. This bird said, 'My dear Kumari, my dear young princess, please let me go. Please let me go back to my husband,' the other bird that was in the bush. 'Please let me go back to my husband. I'm pregnant.' Sita said, 'No, you're so beautiful. I want you to stay with me. I want you to be my pet.' And Sita continued to hold on to this bird, this female bird. The male bird who was in the bushes on the branch, he was calling out. He said, "My dear Kumari, my dear young girl, please let my wife go. She's pregnant. Let her come home with me. Once she has our children, then she will come back to you. I promise." And the wife, the female bird in Sita's hand, said the same thing. "Yes, I will come back. Let me go back to my husband. Let me go back home, have my children, and I will return to you." But Sita Devi, she was a young girl. She did not have the maturity to understand what she was doing. She said, "No, no, I want you to be mine. I want you to be mine. I want you to be mine. My pet, now I have you. I'm not going to let you go." The bird in Sita's hand died because of distress. The male bird, when he saw this, became furious. And he cursed Sita. He says, "When you are in your most vulnerable situation, when you need your husband the most, when you are also pregnant, you will not be with your husband. And I will make sure this happens." And the male bird committed suicide. The female bird was liberated because she was in the hand of Sita, Lakshmi Devi, when she passed away, and she was promising to serve Lakshmi Devi. She would give up her children, she would have her children, and she would come back to serve Sita Devi. The male bird, however, he was consumed by anger and he cursed Sita Devi and committed suicide. He was reborn as the washerman in Ayodhya named Krodhana. He was called Krodhana because even when he was a baby, when he was first born, he was always had an extremely angry disposition. He was always furious. He was always jumping to incorrect conclusions, accusing people of doing so many things, and acting furiously. So he was called Krodhana. This is the story that Sita told, whispered to Ram in Lord Ram's ear. No one ever knew this story. This is why this particular story is not in Valmiki's Ramayana. It is found in the Padma Purana. We will continue. We will continue the story, part 4 of Lord Ramacandra, in the next video. Hari Hari.